My mother offered to pay for my wedding because she wanted it to be my golden child sister's big engagement party, but all their plans failed and her wedding was a disaster. Maybe this is the wrong place, but I'm going to explode with rage and disappointment at my family. My baby sister is the golden child, or maybe that's unfair to say. She survived cancer when she was a child. It was the darkest period of my parents' life. I don't remember much of it because my parents shielded me from the horrific truth. I knew she was sick, and I remember all my childhood spent in hospitals, but never did I know that my sister almost died until many, many years later. I was 12, and she was 10. After she beat her sickness, she became the obvious favorite in the house. She got everything she wanted, and sometimes it was at my expense. I resented that, but I always heard that I was a naughty girl for being jealous of my hero's sister. My sister grew up to be a brat. Now 20 years later, she's still bratty, although we get along a lot better than when we were teenagers/young adults. My wedding is in July. Neither my fiancé nor I have the money for a big wedding. We settle for a small wedding, 30 people, at my fiancé's grandparents' house, which has a beautiful lake view. When they heard this, my parents said no way and offered to pay for a bigger wedding and a better venue. We didn't agree at first, but later, we did not want to disappoint them. It seemed like it was important to them. Last week, my mom invited me over. My dad, mom, and my sister's boyfriend asked me what I would think if my sister's boyfriend proposed to my sister during the wedding so it becomes an engagement party as well as a wedding. I said no. That's ridiculous and laughed. My mom was livid. She told me I was selfish and ungrateful, and I accused her of favoritism. I told her I always thought it was odd that you'd pay for my wedding, but now I know why. She started crying and kicked me out of the house. Later, both she and my future brother-in-law sent me texts warning me not to expose their plan to my sister. My fiancé was disappointed, but not sure what we could do. My parents have spent almost $30,000, and it's too late to cancel. My mother called me today to plan the proposal, and I begged her not to ruin my day. She told me that since she was paying, she could make requests and that I should let go of my resentment toward my sister because she was innocent in all of this. But the thing is, this day will be about my sister. I told my fiancé to ask his grandparents if they would still host my wedding. If they are, I'll revert to our original plan. If not, I will just elope. I'm not sure yet if I will tell my family and cancel the wedding or just let them have their grand proposal party. None of my family is invited to my wedding, including my sister. Update. I'm now happily married and in Como, Italy for my honeymoon. I tried to stay away from my phone, but I was so curious to see my family's reaction to my elopement a week earlier than planned. It was really ugly. I must start by saying that I really tried my best to negotiate and compromise with my family and truly explain that this was hurting me. I have nothing against my sister and, to be honest, nothing against her getting engaged at my wedding, but the principle that it was made very clear to me that I had absolutely no opinion or say in what was going to happen on what was supposed to be my special day was where I drew the line. It wasn't a wish or a request. It was a matter of fact, and it was decided. So I told my mom that I was not going to attend the party she'd paid for. Maybe they should just make it an engagement party instead. She got very upset and told me that the engagement was supposed to be a surprise. I told her that I was just giving her the heads up since she was about to lose an insane amount of money. She didn't take me seriously like I wasn't going to cancel my wedding because of a trivial thing. She didn't know that I'd already planned to get married a week earlier at my grandparents-in-law. We invited our closest friends, and some even had to book earlier flights and take more vacation days. For these people, I was extra grateful. What was left was my sister. I've been back and forth arguing and negotiating with my parents in full. I decided that even if this would ruin her surprise, I had to tell her. So I did. She wasn't really happy with my mom, but she was more upset that I ruined her surprise. And she, as I expected, thought I could have just sucked it up and gone with the flow. I didn't tell her about my new wedding date. The wedding was dreamlike. In the back of my head, I was hurting the people who loved me the most. They weren't there, but I pushed that thought away and refused to let it ruin our day. My husband was amazing. He promised to make me happy for the rest of my life and to make up for every heartbreak I've experienced in my past. My in-laws surprised us by upgrading our honeymoon to a 5-star hotel. I had my friends and some cousins and my favorite aunt attending. We asked them not to live stream or upload any pictures to SM until we're already on our honeymoon. We also asked them not to engage in any altercations online with my family. Today, my mom made long Instagram posts bashing me and my husband and calling me ungrateful and disrespectful with pictures of my wedding, telling people I've cost her a big chunk of her savings, and she's now demanding compensation. Her FB post was shared about 200 times, and most of my extended family is angry with me. She never once tried to contact me. I really thought she would bombard my phone. Instead, both she and my dad announced that they were cutting me off and were expecting compensation. Full commented that I ruined his surprise, and my sister posted about being tired of jealous bees and haters. None of the people we invited commented even though some were directly attacked, so they respected our wishes. I don't know if they're going to turn the wedding into an engagement party now. I hope they do so the money isn't wasted. It's on Saturday. Update 2. Yes, they did, and they blew the internet with pictures and posts about how magical the night was. Little sister made sure to write about haters not ruining her special day and how she was surrounded by the people that mattered. From what I gathered, about 30 to 40% of the guests that were invited showed up.